Side hustles almost seem mandatory now if you want to live the American dream. Each generation faces seemingly greater challenges and barriers to owning homes and saving money. But it is so difficult to find a side hustle that actually works. Meanwhile, the guru on YouTube that I follow has 7 side hustles and even makes money, talking to me about how he makes money. Being a banker for several years, I've seen many side hustles, worked on some myself, and learned what it takes to make any side hustle a success. Here are the 7 reasons side hustles don't work and what to do to address those challenges. Reason number 1 is a lack of planning. In the world of entrepreneurial side hustles, innovation is just as valuable as invention. And that is what people pay for, value. Any side hustle can be great. Some dog obedience schools started off as a hobby and transformed into a strong company. But that doesn't just happen by accident. So how do you avoid this hustle hiccup? Simple. Whip out that trusty pen and paper, or digital planning tool if you're feeling fancy, and sketch out a roadmap to success. Remember, a well-laid plan is like a GPS for your side hustle journey. It might not eliminate all detours, but it'll sure help you navigate those twists and turns with a bit more finesse. A great side hustle roadmap contains 3 items. First, research. Who is your competition, target customer, and how do you plan to sell and market to that customer? Second, prepare a statement of cash flows. This statement of cash flows is so important to success in a side hustle that I will cover it in greater detail later in this video. And 3, identify underserved opportunities in your side hustle offering. Reason number 2 is a fear of failure. Some of my friends who had the worst grades in high school make the most money today. That might be true for you too. Part of the reason why is they don't spend all this time thinking about the ways that they are likely to fail, and they just get started. Of course, you don't want to go blindly into a side hustle, but there are ways you can mitigate your fear, and the best way is to set realistic goals. In the beginning of your side hustle, these goals should not be dependent on others, but should be dependent on yourself. Let's say, for example, that you are most interested in creating home decor. Your early goals might be to network with one person per week about the possibility of your product being sold in stores. Or perhaps it might be to spend a certain amount of time researching high-demand styles. As your side hustle grows, you can adjust these goals upward to include sales volume and production capacity. That leads us well into reason number 3, unrealistic expectations. The greater you fail, the harder it is to get up and keep going. It's easy to think that your side hustle should be easy and money should start flowing immediately. When it doesn't, you'll likely feel that it never will. I'll give you an example of something you can do with something I'm doing now with my YouTube channel. I'm getting very few views now, so my expectations are not related to monetizing or views. Instead, my focus is just to make each video a little better than the last in some way. So instead of chasing after those get-rich-quick schemes like Dwight Pursue's regional manager on The Office, focus on setting realistic goals and putting in the work to achieve them. Remember, slow and steady wins the race, or in this case, your side hustle marathon. Reason number 4, and this is a big one, not enough time management. Picture this, you're juggling your 9-to-5 job, family obligations, and trying to launch your side hustle all at once. Talk about a recipe for burnout. People run out of time for the same reason they run out of money, a lack of budget and overspending on wants. Write a schedule and you'll be surprised how much more you are able to do in a single day. Write your day to be a great day. Plan on time for your business and time for you. Just like in your monetary budget, there can still be time for wants. You just might not have time to watch so many YouTube videos that you end up on the weird part of YouTube again. Whether it's setting boundaries, developing tasks, or just saying no to that video binge, finding balance is key to keeping your side hustle from turning into a side hassle. Reason number 5, a lack of passion. Whether it's baking, photography, or underwater basket weaving, channeling your passions into your side hustle will not only make the journey more enjoyable, but also increase your chances of long-term success. If you don't have a passion or interest in what you are doing for your side hustle, it may as well just be a second job. You're also more likely to put more time and effort into thinking through your game plan if you like what you are doing. One of my clients decided to start a trucking company as a side hustle because the demand for truckers was so high. But he knew nothing about the industry or setting routes for a driver and sunk hundreds of thousands of dollars into a business that lasted only 8 months. Another client, on the other hand, who enjoyed being on the road and had a special interest in semi-trucks, tripled his income in 3 years with the same side hustle. If you're passionate about it, you'll be more likely to stick to it. Okay, so I promised I'd come back to cash flows, which is reason number 6, financial mismanagement of cash flow. The term side hustle can be problematic because it sounds low effort with high return. Side hustles are a business, and a good company is measured heavily on its financials, especially once it goes public and shares are purchased by investors. Investors want a return on their money, and so do you. So make it a point to care for your cash flow early on. A statement of cash flows is the best way to start. Write down all your sources of cash, your inflows, followed by all your spending or outflows, and find what the difference is. If it's not positive now, you need to know how soon you will be positive and track your expenses with diligent care. If you are ever in a position where you need more funding, investors and lenders will care mostly about your cash flow. Many people think that collateral is what banks and investors really care about, but it's actually only a safety net. They care far more about your cash flows as a source of repayment. I advise all my clients starting their own business to prepare at least a 2-year projection of cash flows in the most detail possible to really understand the full picture of their undertaking. Last but certainly not least, reason 7 is a lack of adaptability. In the ever-changing landscape of side hustles, it's adapt or die, folks. Like trying to swim against the current instead of going with the flow. Whether it's shifting market trends, new competitors on the block, or just a good old-fashioned curveball from Lady Luck, being able to roll with the punches is essential for long-term success. We live in the era of increasing automation, and consumer preferences change extraordinarily fast. YouTube entertainers 10 years ago had a similar style and humor, home video filled with some level of absurdity. Fast forward to today, and mega influencers dominate the landscape with production teams and massive budgets. Viewers now come to the platform for more than silly entertainment. They enjoy questions and curiosities answered with a humor element. These channels have become media corporations in their own right. That doesn't mean there isn't plenty of demand for other content. In fact, there are more viewers than ever and so much potential to capture your own piece. But it does mean that you need to be intentional about what you are doing and commit to changing where change is due. Whether it's testing new ideas, seeking feedback from your audience, customers, and others, it needs to be done with an open mindset. You can't just expect to get it right or be the best at everything right away. Let others' opinions and criticisms build you and help you. If it's not helpful, then move on to the next piece of advice. Separate yourself from your business and from your opinion, and it will be easier to take the feedback and let it refine your business. Among the kings of side hustles sits Mr. Beast, who certainly was not an overnight success. He spent several years doing, learning, seeking feedback, and becoming better until his side hustle turned into celebrity-level fame. But even Mr. Beast, with 250 million followers, has not captured the full demand of 2 billion active users on YouTube. And that's true of any industry and side hustle. There is a slice for you that simply requires you to put in the time, effort, and application of these 7 steps to do it.